or the completion of another crosswalk, then I see that we're on a real path here, even though the bathrooms have been something that I've been advocating for a while. But I, too, agree with the broad benefit of this in our community. I have no problem supporting it at all.
So, I mean, we're not in it, looking at our agenda, not in it for a vote. We're going to be looking at this at a public hearing on October 20th. Presently, the staff is looking for us to kind of say, this is where we want to go. So is the four of us in agreement with that is the best way it seems to go?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I supported your position on that last time. I support it again. That public safety, I think, is the highest priority, especially with children in crosswalks. And especially considering that we could take the addition of the money that's left over after finishing the one at 13th Street and put some other
RDA money.
some RDA money together and actually finish another crosswalk with it. So I think we'd get the most benefit for the community out of it.
So hearing that, I mean, the first priority would be completion of 13th Street and Ebony Avenue crosswalks, and then to apply the remainder to do another one. And it looks like that second one is the 5th Street one.
If I could just make one more comment. On the list there, the two crosswalk, the 13th Street and then the 5th Street, those were the only two items listed there that were available and eligible for CDBG, RDA, and grants.
Right, and if you remember, we approved a process of going for the safe route to schools and working with, what is it, Walk San Diego?
And that's
Yes,
on
sir.
tonight.
And that's, or it's on, and it's, these are the things that we can do, is we kind of take a buck and we make it grow in front of us, hopefully, to kind of get these projects done. And I think that if we keep sticking all these little pieces together, we actually get something at the end. So, any more comments on that? I think the staff was looking for that kind of direction to go forward. Real good, Mr. Brown.
Thanks.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next item as soon as Ms. Rose gets back.
I have to recuse myself from this for some real estate that I own near there.
Yeah.
She was
Gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Moving on to item 6.4.
6.4 relates to Bikeway Village in that, in going through, getting going on the rezoning of the private property, one of the things we have to consider is the environmental impacts. And in order to spur the project on, one of the items on your tentative list of redevelopment projects for bond use was the funding of the environmental impact analysis. And so what we're recommending is authorizing the entry into a contract to do the environmental analysis. And the way it would work is that we would advance the funds from the general fund as needed until the bond is sold, and then we would pay the general fund back from the bond funds.
So basically what you're doing is jump-starting the thing and getting
Correct.
things moving forward.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So Mr. Wade has more details.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Manager, Mayor, members of the council, and Chair and members of the Redevelopment Agency. I just wanted to stress that one of the reasons the agency and staff are recommending we do this is because of the public benefit that the project will provide. It's proposing to provide a public patio area that's open to the public, adjacent to both a local and regional recreational facility, the Bayshore Bikeway. It's proposing public restrooms, public rest areas, additional public parking, And for those reasons, the agency staff is recommending that it be funded later on anyway with agency funds. I wanted to also point out that the project manager who will be handling this for the environmental consultant, Donna Steele from Recon, is in the audience. She was involved in the ecotourism study that we did several years back, so she's quite familiar with this, not only the city, but this specific area of our city. And the project applicant, Rex Butler, is also in the audience today. And so our objective is to move forward with this as quickly as possible. So thanks.
Thank you. Any initial questions for staff on this particular item? I know it's something that, moving forward, I think that you mentioned the public benefit. It's surprising because I know Mr. King goes down there now with the Bayshore Bikeway folks. Questions have been asked about public restrooms along that thing, and I think that's very important. That, not only with it for the whole Bayshore Bikeway area, but it'll be in Imperial Beach, and there might be a side benefit from it being here for us here in Imperial Beach too. So I think that the idea of this with the public benefit is really good. Thank you very much. Mr. King?
One thing I neglected to mention was the other possibility of a hostel of some sort located at the facility, which would also provide a significant community benefit and affordable accommodations at the site. If that can come to fruition, that would be another public benefit.
Yeah, I just want to comment on the Bikeway Village concept and the idea and what it will add to the Bayshore Bikeway, because currently, aside from Coronado, there's no place to stop, there's no place to refresh yourself, there's no place to take a leak, there's no place to get any food. And this would provide a really good spot for people because it's just about halfway from either direction. So I think that it's going to be a tremendous benefit. There's a lot of riders on that bike path, especially on the weekends. And if we could add to what we're going to do there, I think it would be very beneficial. Some things that point people into IB, some things, a kiosk, information kiosk perhaps, that would let them know what was available in Imperial Beach and how to get into Imperial Beach proper. It could be something that could benefit us in many ways. Another thing that I think we might want to include or look at in the broader picture of that site, and I know we've discussed it previously, is parking on 13th Street, perhaps some diagonal parking, because it will become a launch point destination for many people. And currently all we have is some scrappy looking dirt on the side of the road. Now if we would kind of clean that up and put in some diagonal parking, I think it would really be a destination for many people in the South Bay.
I think, Greg, those are part of the plans. Maybe
Yeah,
not
there's
diagonal.
a concept now to extend the parking to the south. It'd be head in, but it's part
A lot
of the
of
program.
parking.
At
In
least.
other words, Mr. King, I think they were reading your mind before you came up with the thought. Because actually, I think
Yeah, right.
right, and for further.